Hey, happy day, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to make ends meet. Bring things together, make ends meet. This is one of those idioms that's been around for hundreds of years, and as such, it has definitely had an impact on my life and on me in so many ways that I can't even remember them all, but a couple that I'll share with you. And it reminds us of what we can do and what we need to do right now in order to get through this COVID-19 pandemic as unscathed as possible. And actually, we have the ability to come out the other side better off than we entered into it. Believe it or not, that's entirely possible. So let's talk about making ends meet. This expression is from at least the 1600s or the 1700s. It kind of comes from the financial market, where they think that originally it dealt with balancing columns in accounting. So you would add up a column and another column, and you'd need the columns to balance one another off. So you'd want them to meet, make the totals meet each other. Then John Clark, a French, I don't know if he was an author or an accountant or what, but in 1639 he wrote about it meaning the end of a fiscal year, having everything shake out and balance or whatever by the end of a financial year. And over time, it came to mean getting by, surviving, having enough to meet our needs and making ends meet. So having enough to meet our monthly expenses and things. Now, a lot of people right now are not going to have enough to make ends meet maybe in March. I don't know how the situations were for people in March, but in April for sure, because this entire month, pretty much, all of our lives have been impacted. Either our businesses are smoking and they're running so fast we're barely keeping up, or it's a situation where our business or our job has gone away and it's totally kind of devastated and blown up our lives, or our lives as we knew them, right? It hasn't really destroyed our lives, but it's blown up what we're used to, and we now have to change and find new ways to make ends meet. Now, we've always been making ends meet, right? Every time you plug something in, which is why I had that in my mouth, and I wish I could have plugged it in and have it lit up. That would be cool. Don't have that capability. But putting puzzles together, taping and splicing. I come from a manufacturing background, and most of the businesses I seem to work for, from a manufacturing standpoint in corporate America, had something to do with processes, running processes, and so we didn't have to stop the process and shut the process down once we started running it. In roll technology, and I started out making toilet papers where I first learned about this. We don't shut the whole line down because we need to go from roll to roll in transition. We do something that we call splicing on the fly, and every different industry, every business has its own term for that. But basically, it's splicing two pieces together of paper or whatever surface or platform or foundational thing you're running. It's splicing that together on the fly so you don't have to interrupt your production process. It's putting things together. It's excuse me. It's keeping things running even though there's an interruption in some part of the process. And that's definitely what we're all experiencing right now, right? We need to keep our lives running. Our lives don't stop because of all the things that are going on outside of us. So how do we do with that? How do we deal with that? There's a couple of things that if we just keep in mind, it makes it a lot easier. Number one, know with 100% certainty that you will be okay and you will figure this out. Everything you need is already inside you, and you can figure out what to do. Now, are you going to have to get creative? Are you going to have to do things differently than you've ever done them before? Maybe. Or maybe you can think of a situation in the past where you've been challenged and you've had to figure out, and you've had to be resourceful, and you've had to get super creative and look outside your normal thinking box for solutions to problems that you've maybe had before, but maybe never had before, to keep moving, to keep going. And we can actually take being creative and doing what we can with what we've got right now and being resourceful, and we can make that a game. We can make that fun. I've been making that a game with my granddaughter so that it's fun for us to be resourceful and figure out how to do things with what we've got, making do with what we've got, instead of thinking that we can just hop out to the store and buy what we need right now, because we're not in a position to do that right now. So we do what we can with what we've got right now. We be resourceful. Know that you've got this, that you'll figure it out, that this too, like everything else that's ever happened to you, will pass and flow over, and that you've survived and lived and figured out all of that, so you'll figure this out too. So those are the biggest things to do. Remember that you've got this. Remember you can figure it out. Be creative. Ask for help. Ask for people. Look for answers. Look for how other people are getting by and doing it and figuring it out and making ends meet. And model them, right? And know that there's always help. Help is just a question away. You can always ask me if you don't have anybody else to ask. And I probably won't know the answer to everything. I know I don't know the answer to everything. Who am I kidding? But I know a lot of things, and I know a lot of people that can help any situation. So even though I might not have the resources, I do know how to be resourceful, and I can lead you in the right direction. So go ahead, get moving. It's an amazing new day of the week. Figure out how you're going to make ends meet. Know that you will. And I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where did it come from? How long has it been with us, if I can figure that information out? And what can you maybe do with that right now? At least I hope that I can help you to get thinking about some of these things and realizing that each and every one of us are so much more capable and able to do things than we've ever given ourselves credit for. All right, have a fantastic day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Bye.